The gray morning light crept through the blinds as 16-year-old Marcus sat at his desk, staring at a blank piece of paper. The walls of his small California bedroom were covered with hip-hop posters. Kendrick, Dre, and most of all, Snoop Dogg, whose lyrics had carried him through some of his darkest days. Marcus, thin and pale from months of chemotherapy, took a shaky breath. He wasn't sure what to say, but he knew he had to write. His heart was full of things left unspoken, and for the first time, he felt ready to reach out to his hero. With every word, Marcus poured his story onto the page, the pain, the fear, and above all, the hope that music had given him. He wrote about the hospital nights when he listened to Snoop's songs on repeat, letting the beats drown out his worries. He described the day he was diagnosed, how his life shifted in an instant, and how he found strength in verses that felt written just for him. As the ink dried, Marcus wondered if anyone, especially someone as famous as Snoop, would ever read his letter. His mother found him at the kitchen table, envelope in hand, eyes brighter than they'd been in months. She promised to mail the letter, hugging him tight, whispering that sometimes miracles happen when you least expect them. Marcus smiled, grateful for her faith even as doubt nagged at him. The letter became his secret hope, a lifeline thrown into the world, waiting to be caught. Days turned into weeks. Marcus went through more treatments, lost more hair, and tried to keep his spirits high for the sake of his family. Still, he held on to the memory of writing that letter, imagining Snoop's reaction, picturing what he might say. His friends at school rallied around him, many promising to tag Snoop Dogg on social media, determined to make sure the message reached its destination. If you believe in the power of community, share a time when people came together for you, in the comments below. One afternoon, as rain pattered against the hospital window, Marcus's nurse walked in with a strange smile. "You have a package," she said, holding out a battered cardboard box covered in colorful stickers. Inside was a signed Snoop Dogg hoodie, a pair of headphones, and a handwritten note from the rapper himself. Marcus's hands shook as he read the words, "Keep fighting, nephew. You inspire me. One love, Snoop." News of Snoop's response spread quickly. Hospital staff, family, and friends all gathered around as Marcus put on the hoodie, tears streaming down his face. The moment was shared online, quickly going viral, touching the hearts of millions. If this story has moved you so far, don't forget to subscribe for more real stories that uplift and unite us. That night, Marcus played Snoop's songs even louder, feeling for the first time in a long while, truly seen. He wrote back, thanking Snoop and promising to keep pushing through, no matter what. The simple act of kindness reignited his determination and filled the family's home with hope and joy that seemed almost impossible just weeks before. As messages of support poured in from around the world, Marcus realized his story was no longer just his own. Other teens battling cancer, their parents, and even complete strangers reached out, sharing words of encouragement and gratitude. Marcus's journey, once so lonely, became a beacon for others struggling in the dark. Share in the comments if you've ever drawn hope from someone else's kindness. Could help someone reading this today. Even on his hardest days, Marcus clung to the thought that his voice mattered. Snoop's note hung above his bed, a reminder that music, words, and a little compassion could break through even the toughest barriers. If you want to see more stories about the power of connection and resilience, hit the subscribe button now. And as Marcus drifted off to sleep, Snoop's lyrics echoing in his mind, he knew that, no matter what happened, he'd found something no illness could ever take away. A sense of belonging, courage, and the knowledge that dreams sometimes do come true. The weeks following Snoop's response were filled with excitement and a whirlwind of new connections. Marcus's story appeared on local news, and soon, national outlets picked it up. Messages arrived from all over the country, strangers offering prayers, encouragement, and their own stories of struggle and survival. Marcus and his family watched in awe as their quiet world became the center of a movement. Snoop Dogg's team reached out again, arranging a video call between Marcus and the rapper. The day of the call, Marcus's hospital room was packed, with nurses and doctors who'd cheered him on from the start. The screen flickered and there was Snoop, smiling, calling Marcus young king, and telling him he was proud. Their conversation was easy and real. Snoop listened, asked questions, and reminded Marcus that tough times build strong souls. The call was filled with laughter and honest talk. Snoop shared stories from his own childhood in Long Beach, moments when music helped him through hard times. Marcus, encouraged by Snoop's openness, confessed his fears and hopes. Snoop's words, "Pain makes us stronger, nephew. You got a heart like a lion," became a mantra that Marcus would repeat on rough days. Their conversation didn't end with the call. Snoop posted about Marcus on his social media, urging fans to support children battling illness. The outpouring of love was overwhelming. Celebrities and regular folks alike reached out, sending gifts, cards, and videos. The hashtag #FightWithMarcus began to trend, turning one teen's story into a rallying cry for hope. Marcus's hospital became a place of celebration. Staff decorated the halls, played Snoop's music, and wore Team Marcus shirts. His story gave hope not only to patients, but to everyone who heard it. For the first time, Marcus felt like a leader, using his struggle to lift others up. If you've ever been inspired by someone else's fight, share their story in the comments and help keep the chain of hope alive. Marcus began writing letters to other kids in the hospital, sharing Snoop's encouragement and his own hard-earned wisdom. His room filled with thank you notes, drawings, and photos from children across the country. In the midst of his pain, Marcus found purpose, becoming a mentor and friend to those who needed it most. With each new challenge, Marcus leaned on the love and support of those around him. He learned that vulnerability wasn't weakness, but the source of true strength. The kindness he received became fuel to keep fighting, even on days when the pain seemed too much to bear. Snoop and Marcus stayed in touch, exchanging messages and occasionally sharing updates with fans online. Their bond inspired countless others to reach out, to offer comfort, and to believe in the power of a simple act of kindness. If this story is touching your heart, subscribe now to join a community that celebrates resilience and connection. As Marcus's health ebbed and flowed, he never stopped believing in better days. He created a playlist of his favorite songs, blasting them during treatments, turning every hospital visit into a private concert. The music and the memories of Snoop's words gave him something to look forward to, even when the future felt uncertain. And through it all, Marcus remained grateful. Not just for Snoop's kindness, but for every moment of connection, every shared smile, every reminder that even in the darkest times, people can lift each other up. There were moments of fear, setbacks, and doubt along the way. Marcus's health fluctuated. Some treatments worked, others didn't. The uncertainty was a heavy burden, but he refused to let it define him. His family became his rock. His mom, dad, and little sister doing everything they could to keep hope alive. When things felt overwhelming, Marcus would reread Snoop's note, letting the words anchor him. He'd watch their video call on repeat, laughing at Snoop's jokes and remembering the feeling of being truly seen. The story had brought so much light into his life that he wanted to give back, even as he faced his own struggles. Marcus started a YouTube channel from his hospital room, documenting his journey with honesty and humor. He shared both the highs and the lows, talking openly about the reality of cancer as a teenager. Viewers flocked to his channel, drawn in by his bravery and his refusal to sugarcoat the truth. If you're facing a hard journey of your own, comment below. Marcus's story is proof that you're not alone. Through his videos, Marcus raised awareness for pediatric cancer and encouraged his followers to support organizations helping kids like him. He hosted virtual fundraisers, inviting fellow patients, doctors, and even Snoop to join the live streams. The channel became a safe haven for others to share their own stories, turning isolation into a source of connection. The messages of hope, laughter, and even tears filled the comment sections. Parents wrote in, thanking Marcus for inspiring their children. Other teens reached out with their own fears, finding comfort in Marcus's honesty. The ripple effect of one letter continued to grow, changing lives far beyond his own. Despite the pain, Marcus celebrated every milestone. One less chemo session, a day without nausea, a night of laughter with friends. His hospital room transformed into a vibrant space full of color, music, and community. The journey was still hard, but Marcus never lost sight of the good. Snoop Dogg continued to support Marcus, sharing his channel with fans and encouraging others to subscribe. The bond between rapper and teen, once a private connection, now served as a beacon of hope for all who followed their journey. If this story has inspired you, show your support by subscribing and sharing it with friends who might need a boost. Marcus's doctors were amazed by his resilience and positivity. They credited his attitude and the overwhelming support from around the world with helping him defy the odds. The power of love, kindness, and belief became clear with every new day Marcus greeted with a smile. Through ups and downs, Marcus kept writing, dreaming, and fighting. His story became a living testament to the idea that hope, once kindled, can burn brighter than fear. Even when the future is uncertain, the national attention surrounding Marcus's story brought opportunities neither he nor his family could have imagined. News outlets wanted interviews, foundations offered support. Marcus was invited to speak at charity events, sharing the stage with doctors, athletes, and musicians, always returning to the theme that small acts of kindness can change a life. In one of the most memorable moments, Snoop Dogg surprised Marcus by visiting him at the hospital. Cameras captured the emotional reunion, but the most meaningful moments were the private ones. Snoop cracking jokes, listening to Marcus's dreams, and even rapping a few lines at his bedside. The visit electrified the hospital, bringing joy and hope to patients and staff alike. The day after Snoop's visit, Marcus received a flood of messages from fellow patients. Some wrote that they'd found new strength. Others said they'd reached out to their own heroes. The impact of the meeting went far beyond the headlines, weaving Marcus's story into the fabric of a much larger movement. Inspired by Snoop's generosity, Marcus launched his own initiative, Notes of Hope, encouraging people everywhere to send letters to hospitalized children. The campaign took off, with thousands of notes arriving from all over the world. Marcus spent hours reading them, sometimes crying, always grateful. If you've ever sent or received a letter of encouragement, share your story in the comments below and inspire someone else. Marcus's own hospital room became a hub for the project. Volunteers, nurses, and even local businesses pitched in, helping distribute the letters and organize special events. Birthdays and holidays became occasions for celebration and unity. The love that had started with one letter now uplifted an entire community. Snoop continued to amplify the campaign, using his celebrity to draw attention to Marcus's mission. He appeared in videos, encouraging his millions of followers to get involved, reminding everyone that no act of kindness is too small. As the world responded, Marcus felt more empowered than ever. The positive energy from the Notes of Hope campaign brought measurable change. Hospital staff noticed patients' moods improving, and parents found comfort in knowing their children weren't alone. Marcus's vision, to connect people through compassion, was coming true, one note at a time. If this story has inspired you to spread kindness, subscribe and share your favorite way to help others. Every act, big or small, makes a difference. Marcus's journey wasn't easy, but the purpose he found made every struggle worthwhile. His letter to Snoop had started a movement, one that promised to outlive his own story, touching lives for years to come. The reality of living with cancer meant Marcus's battle was never far from his mind. There were days when pain and exhaustion threatened to pull him under, but the community he'd built kept lifting him up. His family remained steadfast, taking turns sitting by his side, holding his hand, reminding him he was never alone. Snoop checked in regularly, sometimes with a quick text, other times with a funny video or an encouraging call. The consistency of their friendship reminded Marcus that heroes aren't just on stage. They're the people who show up, time and again, when you need them most. Marcus's YouTube channel continued to grow, filled with messages of support from all corners of the world. He read every comment, replying when he could, sometimes with advice, sometimes just with a thank you. He encouraged his viewers to share their own journeys, creating a ripple effect of honesty and hope. Every milestone became a victory, whether it was getting through a tough procedure, sharing a new song, or hearing from a friend he'd made online. Marcus learned to celebrate the little things, finding joy in laughter, music, and moments of real connection. If you're celebrating a victory, no matter how small, drop a comment to let us cheer you on. Hospital life, once a source of dread, became a place of belonging. Marcus and other young patients formed a tight-knit group, supporting one another, sharing fears, and planning for a future filled with dreams. The The friendships forged in those hallways were some of the deepest he'd ever known. The Notes of Hope campaign reached even more hospitals, spreading positivity wherever it went. Marcus took pride in knowing his struggle had helped others, even as he faced his own fears and doubts. He often reminded viewers that hope isn't just for the healthy. It's for everyone. Snoop occasionally featured Marcus's story on his own platforms, urging fans to keep the momentum going. The connection between them served as a powerful reminder that even the biggest stars are human, and that kindness can break down any barrier. Subscribe now if you believe in the power of unity and compassion. Marcus's resilience inspired hospital staff, fellow patients, and viewers alike. Doctors often cited his positivity as a factor in his ongoing fight. Through setbacks and triumphs, he never gave up on his mission to spread hope. The journey was far from over, but Marcus had already changed the world around him. His legacy, born from a single letter, was now written in thousands of acts of kindness, each one a testament to the strength of the human spirit. As the seasons changed, Marcus's story continued to evolve. He experienced setbacks and triumphs, heartbreak and celebration, all under the watchful eyes of his ever-expanding community. The ups and downs of treatment became part of a larger journey, one that inspired those who followed every step. New challenges brought new lessons. Marcus learned to adapt, finding creative ways to stay engaged even when his energy was low. He started recording podcasts from his bed, interviewing other young patients, doctors, and even celebrities who'd been touched by his story. The conversations were raw and real, shedding light on the realities of living with illness and the resilience it demanded. Marcus's school rallied behind him, organizing fundraisers and awareness events. Friends recorded messages, teachers sent care packages, and classmates wore Team Marcus wristbands in solidarity. The support reminded Marcus that his story belonged not just to him, but to everyone who'd ever needed hope. His family, too, found new purpose. Inspired by Marcus's courage, they volunteered at the hospital, supporting other families and spreading the message of Notes of Hope. The Broadus family even joined in, with Snoop and his team lending their time and resources to help wherever they could. Media coverage grew, bringing attention to childhood cancer research and the need for greater resources. Marcus was invited to share his journey on television and radio, always ending with a call to action. Support each other, spread kindness, never give up hope. If you want to join this movement, subscribe and share this story with someone who could use a little light today. Through it all, Marcus kept dreaming. He wrote poetry, learned to play the keyboard, and even started working on a song with Snoop's encouragement. The creative projects gave him purpose, turning fear into something beautiful. Every accomplishment, big or small, was celebrated by his family and his online community. The story of a teen and his hero now belonged to thousands, each person finding something of themselves in Marcus's journey. If you see yourself in this story, or if you've ever found strength in the words of a song, let us know in the comments. Your story could be the encouragement someone else needs. Despite the challenges, Marcus never let cancer define him. He was a friend, an artist, a leader, and most of all, a source of hope for everyone around him. And with every sunrise, Marcus was reminded that a single act of kindness can ignite a flame strong enough to light the darkest night. With each passing month, Marcus continued to grow, physically weaker perhaps, but emotionally and spiritually stronger than ever. The doctors marveled at his determination. Nurses came to him for advice and inspiration. The ripple effect of his story was visible everywhere, from the hospital corridors to social media feeds around the world. Marcus and Snoop Dogg continued their unlikely friendship. They recorded a podcast together, sharing stories and laughter, and discussing everything from music to hope. The episode went viral, prompting thousands of new subscribers to join Marcus's channel. Their conversation was raw, honest, and filled with mutual respect, a testament to the power of human connection. The Notes of Hope project expanded internationally, reaching hospitals on every continent. Marcus received thank you letters in dozens of languages, each one a reminder that kindness knows no borders. The impact of one letter, one story, continued to inspire people across cultures and generations. Marcus's health sometimes took a downturn, but the outpouring of support lifted him up. Viewers sent care packages, artwork, and messages from every corner of the globe. Some sent original songs, others wrote poems, all inspired by Marcus's unwavering hope. If you've ever found hope through someone else's story, leave a comment and help the chain of inspiration grow. Marcus's family cherished every moment, documenting milestones with photos and videos. They knew the future was uncertain, but they faced it with open hearts and gratitude for every day together. The lessons they learned from Marcus about courage, joy, and honesty became their guiding lights. Snoop's ongoing involvement brought even more attention to Marcus's cause. He recorded a tribute track, donating all proceeds to cancer research and encouraging others to support the fight. The song became an anthem for survivors everywhere, its lyrics echoing in hospital rooms and homes worldwide. Marcus never stopped, believing that his story could make a difference. Through podcasts, letters, and music, he touched the lives of thousands. His legacy grew with every act of kindness, every moment of honesty, every connection made. As the journey continued, Marcus urged everyone watching and listening, don't wait to tell someone you love them. Don't wait to make a difference. Start today. Subscribe for more stories like this and leave a comment about the person who inspires you most. No matter what came next, Marcus knew he'd lived with purpose, transforming his struggle into a message of hope that would live on long after the final note had played. In the closing months of Marcus's fight, the sense of community around him only grew stronger. Local artists painted murals in his honor. Classmates organized blood drives and fundraising events. The ripple effect of Marcus's courage touched people from all walks of life, each one inspired to give a little more, love a little harder. Marcus's story was shared at national conferences and schools, becoming a teaching tool for empathy and resilience. Doctors used his videos to inspire new patients, showing them that hope is always possible, even on the hardest days. The impact of his journey reached places he'd never even dreamed of. Despite declining health, Marcus's spirit remained unbreakable. He spent his days surrounded by friends and family, making music, telling stories, and laughing as much as possible. He insisted on celebrating every holiday, every birthday, every milestone, big or small. Snoop Dogg stayed close, sending videos and calling whenever he could. Their friendship, born from a single letter, had grown into something profound, a bond that reminded both of them of the power of kindness and shared humanity. Marcus's final message to his followers was recorded one sunny afternoon. He spoke about hope, courage, and the importance of loving each other through difficult times. None of us knows what tomorrow holds, he said, but we can make today beautiful for someone else. If these words have touched you, subscribe to join our family of hope, and comment below about how you plan to make a difference. The Notes of Hope campaign became a legacy project, carried on by Marcus's family, friends, and supporters. Letters continued to arrive, each one a small flame pushing back the darkness. The community Marcus built promised to carry on. His message, one of resilience, kindness, and unbreakable hope. Even after Marcus was gone, his story lived on in every letter sent, every life touched. His memory became a guiding light for others facing their own battles, a testament to the strength found in vulnerability and connection. As the world moved forward, Marcus's legacy remained, a reminder that no matter our struggles, we all have the power to inspire and uplift each other. If you believe in this message, help it reach more people by subscribing and sharing your thoughts below. The journey, though filled with pain, was marked by love and transformation. Marcus's letter, answered by his hero, became the spark that ignited a movement, one act of kindness at a time. Today, long after Marcus's story first went viral, the impact of his courage continues to echo. Hospitals celebrate his legacy, every year sharing his videos and letters with new patients, teaching the next generation to hold on to hope. Snoop Dogg remains a champion for childhood cancer awareness, honoring Marcus at concerts and fundraisers. The Notes of Hope project thrives, with thousands of volunteers sending letters to children around the world. Schools host letter-writing campaigns, and families use Marcus's story as a way to talk about empathy and resilience. The simple act of reaching out, of saying, "You matter," has changed countless lives. Marcus's family still receives letters from people touched by his journey. They read them together, sometimes crying, always grateful for the chance to connect with so many souls. The Broadus family, too, stays involved, supporting campaigns and sharing the story wherever they can. If you've been inspired by Marcus's journey, let us know in the comments how you plan to carry on his legacy. Whether it's writing a letter, making a call, or simply being there for someone, every act of kindness matters. Subscribe for more real-life stories of hope and connection. The story of Marcus and Snoop Dogg is a testament to what can happen when we reach out, when we lift each other up, and when we choose hope, even in the face of uncertainty. So as you finish this story, remember, your words, your actions, your kindness, they matter. Be the spark for someone else, just as Marcus was for the world. And if you're new here, join our community by hitting subscribe. Leave a comment about the hero in your life, and let's keep the flame of hope burning together.